Hello everyone, welcome to the special edition on essay by Annamaya IAS Academy. So here we discuss certain quotes and equip you with tools so that you can use it across many essays and across other papers as well, if you please. So before I start, I would like to announce that we are having essay classes under Hadranath Reddy sir, and he has consistently scored high, around 150 in essay paper. So please take a look at it. So the quote for today is my personal favorite, by Aung San Suu Kyi. So Aung San Suu Kyi, she said, "It is not power that corrupts, but fear. Fear of losing power corrupts those who wield it, and fear of the scourge of power corrupts those who are subject to it." So this can be applied across many dimensions of politics today, and it's very dynamic. So let's discuss it. As you understand, she's talking about two things, not just one dimension of power. It's fear of losing power. She's talking about the people who wield power and people who subject to power. These two can go, you can apply it in many ways. I've discussed some examples, some dimensions. Let's look at it. So a little bit backdrop of of the quote is that in Myanmar, there was military junta. In 1990, there were elections. Aung San Suu Kyi had a landslide victory, but she was house arrested. After that house arrest, she wrote an essay called Freedom of Fear. Now, this essay is a wonderful essay. Please, once you are done with this video, please read that essay. Now, in this, she explains the psychological underpinnings of authoritarian rule. This is very important essay if you want to understand the psychology of power, how it affects the people who wield it and how it affects the people who are subject to it. Now, she challenged that power inherently corrupts, and the underlying of entire power is fear. So the person who is wielding it also, we think of him as a hero, but he's a coward. That's what she's trying to tell. Yeah, so the deeper meaning is that the military rulers in Myanmar, she's saying that they are afraid that they might lose their power, so they subject people to authoritarian rule, they do human rights abuses, and the people, the fear of retaliation leads to a culture of silence. So fear of retaliation, this is what Aung San Suu Kyi is trying to say in that essay, but we can discuss different meanings of this also. Yeah. The dual nature of power. Fear of losing power, it is rooted in insecurity. This is also there. We can see it especially in regimes where the head of the state is continuously in power, because after some time it is natural to develop certain opposition. It's pretty natural. It's even natural for kings also. Even kingdoms don't last that long time, but if they want to last long time, especially to protect their rule, they disrupt democratic processes. This is one of the key reasons why in USA the presidential term is limited to 2 times. That's it. More than 2 times you cannot be a president, even if you are a popular person. Now fear of the powerful, fear of subjugation, it's a natural response. When you see something fearful, it's natural to be subjugated, it's natural to protect yourself. So it blind obedience, and they comply with the wrongdoings. In countries like in North Korea regime, I've seen in an interview, they are so subjugated that the women allow themselves to be raped. It is such as the disturbing level of subjugation that misuse of power can do. That is to that extent society goes. They allow themselves to be raped. They allow themselves to be killed. They think it's normal. It's all due to fear. Now, you can expand this in other dimensions as well. One is political dimension. Democracies falter. The ripple effects are felt in judiciary, election commission, media, and ethical and moral dimension. I can't find a single ethical way to justify it. It is wrong according to every Shastra, if I can say. Next, institutional dimensions. Institution is a medium to wield power, bluntly. So every institution becomes corrupt, every institution becomes a medium to oppress people. Next, media and information dissemination. So media plays a key role in both angles. One is whitewashing the authoritarian regime, glorifying it, especially as it happened in Nazi Germany, where they said the Holocaust victims, they are, you know, education camps they were called initially, before the real story came out. They were called re-education camps. Or media can also play a role in revolution. Next, the social dimension. The weak are completely compromised at this area. Hate speech, violence, it all goes unchecked. So when we hear, we lose a sense of what is right and what is wrong in this struggle for survival. So again, the entire society crumbles into chaos. Here again, the women, the children, the marginalized classes, they again become the victims. Now, emergency in India. This is the first case study. This is an obvious case study. So, experts say that the decision behind imposing an emergency came from her loss of power, because if you see here, she's not just a one-time leader, she has a legacy. She was the daughter of the first Prime Minister of this country. She was brought up in the epicenter of independence movement, so she just couldn't let go of it. It's natural that after 2 terms you will develop a stronger opposition. It's natural for us to lose power, and many experts in many books say that psychologically she couldn't accept it. Media was censored, opposition was jailed, and there were more people jailed, more than the Quit India movement, more people were jailed during the emergency. And it was fear of loss of power, fear of loss of the seat. It led to authoritarian action. So this is one classical example we have. Here I would like to say that ironically, she was so afraid of losing power, but ironically when Morarji Desai came, the next Prime Minister came, he couldn't stay. The Janata Party couldn't even stay in power. So she could have just let it go, accepted the defeat, and eventually she was elected again. She is as the Prime Minister, she was again re-elected. So maybe if one time she could have let go of that fear, maybe we wouldn't have seen a dark chapter in history. Next, Stalin's USSR. Same, Stalin, there were dictators, but even dictatorship, what happens in dictatorship is that the dictator, be it Stalin or be it Hitler, they are seen as, akin to Messiah. Okay, after that, the mask falls off. Okay, no person can worship someone indefinitely. So due to the loss of fear, it led to the Great Purge. Thousands were executed, thousands were imprisoned. At the same time, the citizens, they turned into informants. They lost respect of their country. That's the most important thing. And after that, Russia disintegrated. This is the greatest loss. The sense of people turned on each other. Here, what happened is that they turned on each other. They started blaming other groups. They started blaming other communities. So Russia disintegrated. Otherwise, it would have been a formidable country, for the lack of a better word. It would have been a real superpower. So yeah, this one man's fear of loss of power has costed an entire country. Excuse me. Now North Korea. Same thing happened with North Korea. The ruling family's obsession on the power. Today we are seeing worldwide dissent. At least today stories are coming out. Otherwise, the ruling family, just one family, they want to stay in power. They won't let anything happen, and gross human rights violations are taking place just to keep one family in power. There is basic freedom. There is no basic freedom. There is tight surveillance, and every aspect is controlled. You might be seeing many videos on North Korea. At least now they're coming out. We hope something changes over here. Now, counter argument. Here you can explore more dimensions. Counter arguments are appreciated in UPSC essays. More dimensions as in, is it just fear? Or, here I wrote about arrogance. The arrogance that you're in power. We hear it every day. Mera chacha vidayak hai. You know how the people, the relatives, especially the children and the spouses of people in power behave. outside. We see it every day. It's called the arrogance associated with power, the power high and everything. You see, we are seeing many articles on news that someone, a son of MLA or son of an MP, he is raping certain women, or he is violating certain laws. It's all because they have the fear, power high. They're not afraid of anything. They lost fear. I think these people could actually use fear right now, and like that you can expand it to multiple dimensions. In these cases, there are many underlying psychological things that are going on. So you can give counter arguments also that it's not just fear, other stuff. Now, how to overcome this? This is where you can be properly creative. We can make proper institutions, and I always, when I'm writing an essay, I always emphasize on values, emphasize on family, because that is the most important behavioral control method we have as a society. Next, promote, embrace leaders with moral courage, people who can speak up, Whistleblowers Act, or you can give Gandhi's leadership. There are many examples here. Here you can get properly creative. So to conclude, so Aung San Suu Kyi's quote, it is very important to analyze this quote to understand how power works in society. Okay, power and its abuse, it destroys social structure, and the true strength, to conclude, the true power doesn't lie in abuse, it doesn't lie in suppression, it lies in empowerment. So thank you.